Hello, hello, hello. This is adrienneobey, Capricorntigress of Astrology, a look inside.com. And I'm coming to you with something a little bit special tonight. Because I didn't go live, I thought I would do a little something special. And what I'm doing is just doing a little overview for all of the 12 signs about the new full moon in Aquarius, which is coming up on the 23rd, which is next Friday. And I broadcast Saturdays. And so I won't get an opportunity to discuss this until after it begins. So we're discussing it today. So I'm going to start with the sign of Cancer. Cancer, this full moon is going to accentuate your 8th house. The 8th house is the house of money. The 8th house is the house of death. The 8th house is the house of secrets. And I think that this is an area that might be emotionally charged for you, Cancer. So just know that your secrets might come out, or they might be a little emotional that day. Also, don't forget the sun will be in your 2nd house, which is the sign of Leo. And you might feel that, okay, Cancer? It might be money issues. It might be your partner versus money. You and your partner might have issues with money. So be aware that this could be so. Next, I want to talk to the sign of Leo. Leo, this is occurring in your 7th house. And literally, when the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter is retrograde. So it is one of those situations, Leo. This could mean that you could have some issues or at least some emotional charged conversations or things crop up in the area of relationships. And this could have something to do with you and a partner. The 7th house is also the house of enemies, open enemies. And I could see how some Leos might be dealing with enemies that day. Also, your sun would be in the 1st house because the sun will be in Leo next Friday and you'll finally feel like you can shine. And I just feel like there might be somebody who's just salty that you are shining and wants to, put out your light a little bit with that water, but you keep your head held high, Leo, and you just, you know how to do it, Leo. Leos know how to shine. I trust and believe that Leo will handle this situation. Next, we've got the sign of Virgo. And Virgos, I'm so concerned for Virgos anyway, because I know Virgo naturally deals with the health and issues that have to do with your physical health or even your mental health. And I feel that some Virgos are really going to be feeling this pull between the physical health and the mental health, because the houses that are illuminated are the 6th house, where the full moon is going to be, and the 12th house, which is your I wouldn't say emotional, but really it's psychological. The 12th house is like your mental or psychological health, really. And so I think some Virgos are going to be dealing with health issues. I just want you to take care of yourself. It's 3 days where this is really going to be intense, which is going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So do all you can, Virgo, to ensure that you're going to be okay Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because your health is just a little bit, not up to par that time. I also want you to be cautious of your mental health, because the 12th house is illuminated with the sun at the same time. So, you know, be cautious of these things, stay balanced, eat well, take vitamins, and I think you'll get past this weekend with flying colors. Next is the sign of Libra. And for Libra, this is going to be occurring in your 5th house of romance. This could be children also. It could also be taking, you know, chances, like playing games or lotto, any type of a situation where it's a game of chance, or where you have to take a leap, you know. So the 5th house is that house. It's, you know, it's the gambling house. Is where people take a gamble on life. Also, you might take a gamble on love, because the 5th house is the house of romance and love. And I can see where some Libras are going to embrace love that day. Now, the opposite is the 11th house, and that's where the sun in Leo will be. And so some Leos may be experiencing a lot of maybe my friends versus my relationship, like my friends versus my romance. And you might feel that your romantic partner's like, you're always spending time with the boys. Why don't you spend time with me? Or this might be you saying that to your significant other. Just be aware of that and realize that you're lucky in love next weekend, okay? That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Next, I'd like to talk to the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio, this is occurring in your 4th house. The full moon is occurring in the 4th house, and the sun is occurring in your 10th house. So I think this has got everything to do about the work-life balance. You know, being home and your jammies and watching Netflix and eating popcorn, versus being a person of the world out there doing the darn thing and making money and pursuing your career. And you might find that these two things are kind of not balanced next weekend. Maybe you have to work over the weekend. Maybe you've got extra projects and you feel like it's just not, you know, you're not able to relax, maybe. Or perhaps something happens in the home, because it is in the home. So just be careful or cautious that there could be emotional things occurring in the home. It might just be that you're doing something different to relax, something unique. Also, next week, I'm going to talk to the sign of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius, this is occurring in your 3rd house. The full moon will be in your 3rd house, your solar 3rd house, and the sun will be in your solar 9th house. So I sense that this is all about communication and information and intelligence and gathering details and information, maybe phone calls, reading books, all those different type of things, perhaps working on the internet, working on the computer, just gaining information in general. And I like to just point out that, you know, the moon is sextile Sagittarius in Aquarius, and the sun will be trine Sagittarius in the sign of Leo. So I feel like this is a very positive experience for the sign of Sagittarius. And I really hope that you take this opportunity to gather all the information and details that you need to feel comfortable that you've come to the right conclusion, Sagittarius. Capricorns are next. Capricorns, this is this full moon in Aquarius will be occurring in your 2nd house and 8th house. So the 2nd house is where the full moon will be occurring, and the 8th house is where the sun will be. And you know, the funny thing about that, it's like other people's money is shining. So I'm not sure if it means you're going to be emotional over money that you may or may not have, emotional over what you can or cannot spend. And then, you know, the sun is illuminating perhaps people you owe money to, and you might not have the money available to pay those people that are owed. or it could be your money versus your partner's money situation. It's similar with Cancer, but just a little bit reversed, where they're dealing primarily with the partner's money, or they are the partner. Whereas with you, Capricorn, you're dealing with it as this is your money. You may feel you don't have enough money, or you may get emotional about money, or you might suddenly have a large sum of money. Anything is possible next Friday. So be open to it, Capricorn, and make sure you have your finances shored up. So, no sudden unexpected, because don't forget, Aquarius is sudden and unexpected. Aquarius, this is occurring in your first house. This is you. So, I mean, you could get emotional. Something might crop up that makes you feel emotional, or someone might say something that suddenly makes you feel emotional, or, it might just hit that spot in you that makes you feel that you're not quite whatever it is. Sometimes someone will say something and it makes us feel small, or it makes us feel like we're not as good as we are. And you might go through that. I just remember it's the moon, and the moon is not something Aquariuses are really comfortable or enjoy experiencing, that emotional. Aquariuses are known for being non-emotional. And so, this might feel uncomfortable for some Aquariuses experiencing whatever brings this moon experience on. Also, with the seventh house illuminated with the sun, you might feel that your partner is really shining, maybe overshining, outshining you, maybe over talking you or over dominating you. So this could really become an issue for some Aquariuses, where it could set off that emotional, feeling. I mean, because you feel like I'm not being recognized maybe by your partner, or heard, or taken seriously, or whatever the situation turns out to be. Now, remember, this is generic. This is all based on the solar chart, and not, you may not be born, Aquarius, with your sun sitting right in the first house like that. But this is based on if that were so. Pisces, this is going to affect your 12th house and your 6th house. So the 12th house is affected by the moon. The full moon will be happening in your 12th house, Pisces, and the sun will in Leo is going to be in your 6th house. So there's going to be an emphasis in your health. Oh yes, but you're another one where I feel like your emotional health, your psychological health is really going to be at the forefront. But I think it's going to be different for Pisces than it was for Virgo. And the reason is that Pisces, you naturally rule the 12th house of Virgo. So it's going to feel like you're at home, even though the moon is there and it's Aquarius and it's different. But I think you may intuitively be able to pick things up next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because it is the 12th house and we're talking the moon. And I think that some intuitive insights might come through for some Pisces, believe it or not. I would watch my health. Like I said, the sun's going to be over there opposing that moon. And I would also be careful of, because the moon makes us emotional. And the 12th house makes us delusional. Emotional, delusional, those are two things I just don't like seeing together in a sentence. So be careful about that, because that could affect some Pisces. Next, we've got the sign of Aries. And Aries, this is occurring in your 11th house. And your 3rd house is also activated with the sun in Leo. But the moon, the full moon in Aquarius in the 11th house. Oh, Aries, I love this. First of all, Aquarius rules the 11th house. So it's going to be home when it goes into that 11th house. And the moon is going to be there. It's going to be emotional. I would tell any Aries that their best bet is to hang out with women or connect with women next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because it's the moon, that's women, and it's the 11th house. I would say if you were a guy, I would shoot my shot on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday for the girl of my dreams. I would go for it. Why not? The worst case scenario, she turns out being a friend instead, right? So, I mean, that's always possible. Also, the third house is also, excuse me, I should say the fifth house. The fifth house is also illuminated, and the fifth house is where the sun is going to be in Leo. And the sun loves to be in the fifth house in Leo because it's its natural home. So I really do sense the potential for love. I really do. I don't know if it's a friend that's a female or if it is just a romantic time. And maybe you're another one that maybe you might feel like you're being pulled between friends and romance. So if I were you, I would always err on the side of love. Next, we have the sign of Taurus. And Taurus, this is occurring in your 10th house, and also your 4th house will be activated as well. The 10th house is the house that rules ambitions and your career. And the 4th house, of course, is the home. So I feel like some Tauruses are really dealing with issues between their career and their home life, like maybe working, having to do long hours or double shifts over the weekend versus being able to relax at home or to go and spend time with family or whatever the situation that might occur. And so just, know this, Taurus, that you might feel like you have an extra load of work, or I think it's just your career. I think it might be that something emotional might happen in your career. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's from a boss or if just some occurrence happens and it just seems a little emotional. You might feel that day, and you might just decide to stay at home and take the road of the sun in Leo and just chill at home and grill. I don't know. I don't know why I got a feeling some Tauruses are going to do that. And finally, we've got Gemini. Gemini, this is happening in your 9th house. And the full moon is going to be in that 9th house. And the sun in Leo is going to be in the 3rd house. And you're going to be dealing with issues that have to do with dogma, your philosophy, the God principle, what you really believe from a deep integral level. And then also communicating. The sun in Leo is going to be in the 3rd house of communication. So I could see some Geminis maybe getting into a debate over this, especially with a Sagittarius, which is going to have the opposite effect going. So be cautious of that. Sometimes we get into debates and I'm like, why did we have to get into that debate? It's completely unnecessary and it doesn't solve anything. So if you find yourself, Cancer, getting into some philosophical debate about what is real and what isn't real and who is right and who isn't right and what's political and what's not political, stop, drop, shut it down, open up, shut. Look, this doesn't need to be discussed, okay, during this full moon. I had to give my tribute to DMX right there. Anyway, you guys, this has been Adrienne, Capricorntigress of Astrology, a look inside. And you know what? I did this entire thing by using my background, and that's okay. I wanted to do that because I really did not want to come through and show my face, but I got something for you. I will show my face. Let me put the light on. I finished those and I did it in record time. And so I figured I would just come and show my face. I'm here. I'm okay. I've talked to you guys about my Saturn return. I've talked to you guys about that. And I am dealing with it as best as I can. But my energy level is extremely low. I've slept more in the last 2 weeks than I have probably the last 5 years. I mean, just, I guess this is replenishing time when Saturn retrogrades in your 1st house on top of your Saturn, having a once in the 28-year Saturn return. and also being flanked by lots of progressed planets, lots of natal planet. I've got, you know, my sun, Mercury, and Saturn all in the first house, and or on it. My son's on the first house, and then I've got three, I think, progressed planets in the first house, and I've got the three, maybe four now. I think it's three, maybe four planets progressed or natally or transits. It's a lot, okay? It's just like a conglomeration of planets going on. And so it's very difficult for me to ground myself enough that I'm not feeling energetically drained. I'm going to keep it real. And I will tell you what it is. I've been working on my mindset for my money mindset. But I mean, if it wasn't for other ways of earning an income, I'd be dead based on the money that I make with my astrology business. I'm obviously doing this from a place of love, not from a place of financial gain. Otherwise, I would have financial gain, something I don't have at this moment. So, you know, I talk about that, but there's only so much of that that you can take, because energetically, it's not good to continue to give like that when you're not getting something back energetically the right way. And I can tell you, I've been pulled by the universe to do other things. And it's because, like right now, and I've been getting so many leads with my Get Me a Real Job and different things that I could maybe branch off into. But my heart is into this astrology. It's something I started doing at 16 years old. It's a major focal point of my life. And I could tell you, it's to the point that sometimes when I talk, you know, with my own child, they get upset because, you know, I talk in astrologies, and, you know, to some people, that's not fact. That's just all up in your head. To me, it's all fact. So it's just the way we look at things differently. But you know, I've been really cautious of the energy that I'm expending. And I've decided, you know, I'm going to expend my energy very gingerly, gently, lightly, and extend it to those who are willing to energetically support me and give back. I mean, otherwise I'll be depleted, and I don't want to be depleted. And so that's why I'm doing it the way I do it. So anyway, I wanted to show my face. Much love and light to you guys. It is always my pleasure to do whatever I can do. And I know most of you want the readings. I did the card readings for the last moon last week. And I tell you what I'll do. I'll do the card readings on Saturday after the full moon. So you'll have the card readings on top of the astrology readings. How's that? Or I might do them on Wednesday. You never know with me. I might show up Wednesday and do them, okay? So anyway, you guys, just wanted to come show my face, get this done, and just share my love and my light, and just let you guys know I'm okay, all is well, and many blessings to all of you.